welcome back to Everything's Plastic. Continuing on with the Thor Love and Thunder wave, this is Star-Lord. So this is actually the last figure that we have to review, with the exception of the Build-A-Figure. Let's start by taking a quick look at the packaging. Here we have front, obviously, Mjolnir on the top, barcode and everything on the bottom. Here we have a picture of Chris Pratt as Star-Lord on the side. Same picture on the back here. And same picture on this side as well. There is a little read-up that says, Peter Quill and the Guardians of the Galaxy return, teaming up with friends new and old to defend the galaxy from a dangerous new enemy. And obviously, if you're familiar with the trailers, you know that enemy is Gore, the God Butcher. Can't wait to see Christian Bale play Gore. I think he's going to do an awesome job. There's Korg on the side here and all the other figures on the wave. Just to do a refresher, just in case you guys are not familiar with Wave, we have fully armored Thor here, Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, Gore, King Valkyrie, Ravager Thor, Star-Lord, and Groot. And this is the teenage version of Groot as well. So that's pretty much it for packaging. Let's crack this guy open and get a closer look. So here he is outside of packaging. This guy comes with the right arm for Korg Build-A-Figure. And our next video is probably going to be the assembly and overall review for Korg. Also comes with his two blasters as well. Pretty cool design on these. I think the older versions are actually a little bit better. This is the previous version here. More of a gunmetal as opposed to lighter gray. Just different overall color. The older ones definitely do look better, a lot more detail and better paint application. And then we have these, which these are my favorite so far. Excellent paint application on that, and just a little bit extra silver paint along with your dark gunmetal and stuff like that, as opposed to just your gray plastic. And we can see some marbling in these as well. So overall, not the best version for his blasters, but at least we got some accessories, I guess. No extra head sculpt coming with this guy. Would really appreciate it if they give us a mask version of his head sculpt. You think of Star-Lord, you think about him wearing his helmet or his mask or whatever you want to call it. I already had the mold for this head sculpt, so no reason to control this in. Slap a bit of different paint on it and call it a day. Let's get a closer look overall for this guy. Obviously, the head sculpt, this guy looks a bit goofy. I mean, Chris Pratt can look pretty goofy sometimes when he wants to. But overall, I don't think this is a good representation of Chris Pratt. This is the previous version. This one's not that great either. This one here being the best version, in my opinion. I think they kind of nailed the likeness a little bit better in this one here, as opposed to this one. But, I mean, this one still looks better than one of the previous versions. Not the greatest head sculpt at all. Overall, though, I do like the strap. I like all the details. You can see inside here too, everything's painted. You can see all the detail in his Ravager trench coat. Pretty good mold, pretty good design in that overall as well. All this here is painted. You can see the strap and everything is painted. See all the cool detail going down. I wish they would have took the time to paint some of the straps and stuff like that. Would have made the trench coat pop a little bit more. We do have some detail on his boots. We can see some detail on his legs and all that stuff as well. But not a whole lot of paint going on here. They do have the belt painted. And they do have the straps painted too, as well, on his boots. Pretty much it for a closer look. Not a bad looking figure at all. Really do like his Ravager coat or trench coat. I think it's a pretty cool design, and I really like the paint application. Could have did a lot more with it, but overall still looks pretty good. So this strap that goes around, that's removable. Let's see if his trench coat is removable as well. It should be. If you want to take the time to take that off as well, play around with it a little bit. I'm sure it'll come off. And yeah, that comes off as well. Little piece here that just straps around. And is that removable? It looks like it's removable. So I don't really want to mess around with this little strap piece. It does look removable. I did play around with it a little bit, but it doesn't want to come off, and I don't want to force on it too much. We can add this strap back on too without the trench coat. Still think it looks pretty cool. If you want to display this guy without the trench coat, you can probably get away with it. It does look kind of weird, but yeah, you can pull it off. I think this piece here is the only thing that kind of saves it. So before I put the trench coat back on, because obviously the trench coat is going to hinder articulation, and I think this little piece is going to hinder his ab crunch as well. But let's go over articulation. So his head goes back this far, forward this far. You do have a bit of side to side, full rotation there. His arms come up this far, you got your full rotation. You got your double jointed pinless elbows, which is great. Love my pinless elbows, I think they're fantastic. There is a bicep swivel as well, And for his wrist, it goes all the way around and back and forth, and all the way around and back and forth for this one as well. Usually with any kind of weapon yielding hands, it's up and down, but this one is side to side. There's ab crunch. It goes back this far, forward this far. So I was wrong. This piece doesn't really hinder articulation at all. It does come up a little bit on the back here, but you can still get a full range of motion out of it. There's full rotation here. His legs come out this far, so nowhere near a complete split. Obviously, it is restricted, but these little pegs here where the gun's poured on. It just poured on like this. I'm not 100% sure, but it works. It stays there, so I'm gonna go with it. You do have double jointed pin knees. You do have a boot cut that goes all the way around, which is kind of cool because the boot actually comes up over. I think that's a pretty cool detail there. Pretty cool design there. And for his feet go all the way back, forward this far, and then you get your full rotation as well, like we're used to with all these Marvel Legends. One of the things that I picked up on with this one, man, is a really weird smell coming off the trench coat. Like a really harsh smelling plastic for some reason. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have this guy and you picked up on that. I don't know what it is. Really strong smell coming off his trench coat. Like I mentioned earlier, you can always port his weapons here. You can port his guns in under the trench coat like so. They poured on pretty easy like that. Looks pretty cool overall. At least I like it anyway. And we can take them off and just put them in his hands. Hopefully they fit in his hands nice and easy. His plastic is pretty soft in his hands as well. So here he is with his blasters in hand, and I gotta say, man, these don't stay in his hand very well at all. One side's okay. This hand here is very sloppy. You can tell there, man, one little movement or anything like that and it just falls out. So not overly impressed with that. So let's do some comparisons. Here's a quick comparison to the other two Star-Lords that I have in my collection. You can tell there they are pretty much the same height. This one here is a little tiny bit shorter, but overall still looks pretty cool. Really do like the trench coat on this one. Probably my favorite design overall. This one here looks pretty cool too with the jacket. It's not a bad design either. This one here does have a lot more detail. See his rocket shoes and everything else on the side there, which in my opinion looks pretty awesome. Okay, let's do one final comparison to all the other figures in the wave. The only figure we're missing here right now is the Build-A-Figure. I have all the pieces there, so I'm going to assemble that in our next video and do an overall review for Korg as well. This is all the regular figures in the wave. You can see that he scales a little bit smaller than Thor, but is pretty much taller than all the other figures in the wave. So he's decently sized compared to the rest of the wave and the average 6-inch Marvel Legend. So before we finish up here, there's one last thing that I wanted to try, and that's the mask version. So I think they still fit pretty good. Looks pretty awesome, man. I think they definitely could have added a mask version or a helmet version of Star-Lord. It looks so awesome, man, with this trench coat and his armor and overall appearance of the figure. I think Hasbro definitely messed up not providing us with one of those. Looks good all around. Fits on kind of snug, but it does fit. Let's try this version as well. See if that one fits. And that one pops on much easier. Like I said before, this is my favorite version. But this one here looks pretty awesome as well. So if these two fit, you know that the other head sculpts fit as well. I'll try those on just in case you guys are wondering what they will look like. So yeah, this one looks way better, man. Looks fantastic. Still doesn't have the greatest resemblance to Chris Pratt, but definitely better than the one that it came with. Let me know in the comments below, guys, which one you like better. Just as well do the last one for a comparison, and even this one looks better than the one it came with. This one doesn't look like Chris Pratt either, but overall looks pretty good. Head sculpt is a bit too small for the body, but still looks better than the one that it came with. That pretty much wraps up our unboxing and review of the Thor Love and Thunder Star-Lord. Overall, I'm going to give this guy a 8.5 out of 10. Really like the overall design of the figure. The blasters don't fit well. Not a fan of the head sculpt, but the overall body mold and overall appearance of the figure itself looks fantastic. So if his head sculpt was a little bit better and he actually included one of these and his blaster fit better, then I definitely give it a higher score. But 8.5 is my final score out of 10. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of my score of 8.5 out of 10? What do you think of this figure? And what do you guys think about the overall line? If you like our video, don't forget to click on that thumbs up button, give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, Please subscribe, help us get to our goal of 400 subscribers. Right now we're currently at 382, just 18 more and we'll reach our goal of 400 subscribers. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Keep collecting and stay safe.